Hello everyone. I'm going to be showing you how you can use Pliant along with IBM SevOne in order to populate metadata. In this case, we're going to be looking at latitude and longitude coordinates. So if we pull up a couple of devices here, I have Dallas Edge and New York Edge. I can take a look at their metadata currently, and I'm able to see that I don't have any latitude and longitude coordinates set for them. So typically what can happen then is, we're able to create a namespace and then add metadata to it. So in this case, we have a geo namespace, latitude and longitude. Um, so typically what you would have to do would be, if you had a spreadsheet of data, it would be nice to be able to take this and either pull in latitude and longitude values that might be listed there, or maybe even better would be to take the city, state, and zip code and go out to an external third-party website to retrieve more precise latitude and longitude coordinates. This would give you the ability to even do street, so you could do street, city, state, zip, and get a really accurate coordinate. So looking at this then, the challenge without having the latitude and longitude is when you go over to within the data insight here, if I go over to the maps and I create a map, and maybe I want to add my two devices, my Dallas Edge 01 and also my New York City Edge 01. So I want to add those to the map. Okay, so I've got my two devices. I can hit add. And when I look, use latitude and longitude metadata, currently that geo coordinate space hasn't been created yet here in this case, so I can't use that to be able to position my nodes on the map. So when I drag them onto the map here, then if I go to the geo map and take a look at it, the devices are overlaid over each other, and Dallas and New York City, last time I checked, they're not in Africa, right? So we want to be able to fix this. So enter Pliant. Here's where Pliant comes in. What you're able to do with this is Pliant gives you the ability to automate, create a workflow so that you can easily read in. In this case, I'm reading in an Excel spreadsheet data, and then I can I can create that namespace called geo and populate the values in it. So, instead of having to do this is kind of a low code, no code kind of a solution where you can define workflows so you don't necessarily have to write really detailed scripts. You can use a little bit more of a modern interface to automate. In this case, I'm going to click Start here. It gives me my workflow, and I can execute my workflow. So this will allow me to see and to confirm that it's finishing correctly. So in the background, it's actually using SevOne APIs. It's reading from that spreadsheet that you saw earlier with the columns in it in order to instantiate the geo namespace along with the attributes associated with it. In addition, it's actually going out to a third-party site using the city, state, and zip code in order to get the coordinates, and it's adding those to the output as well. So now, I've gone ahead and run that. If I go back here now and I go back to my reports, I can go to my metadata, where was it again? Device metadata report, there it is, demo. Okay, so now here we are again. Now you can see it's refreshed, and now it actually has the values that were imported, including the geo coordinates value, which is used in the map. So it's taken all this information. You can see that I had some latitude and longitude coordinates. They weren't very precise, but going out to that third-party site, you can see that it's has several digits past the decimal of accuracy, so it's a lot more accurate. So now if I go back to my map, and I'm going to go ahead and create my map again, and this time I'm going to grab the same two devices, Dallas Edge, as well as my New York Edge. Okay, and I'm going to hit add. In this case, use latitude and longitude metadata. I'm going to turn that on. And now you'll see here, if I scroll down, that geo namespace is instantiated and the coordinates attribute now appears. when I do that, you see that these little globes show up here on the devices, and that tells you that that these actually have the coordinates needed to position on the map. So I can just hit Add All to Map here. When I do that and I scroll over to the map, now as if I zoom out here, I can see that I'm actually those devices are positioned properly now, where you have Dallas down in Texas and New York City up here. So anyway, that's a quick overview of how you can use Pliant to be able to, along with SevOne, to be able to populate metadata information without having to manually enter everything. It's just it's a way to automatically keep up and add those values. Thanks.